Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Yo, full-time family, it is time to start popping your popcorn. We are just 8 days away from UFC 223, and Conor McGregor's camp has confirmed they will be in attendance at UFC 223, not just to support Artem Lobov, but we all know Khabib and Tony Ferguson are very likely fighting for Conor McGregor's title that night. Dana White, the UFC president, has came out and confirmed as soon as one punch is thrown in the Khabib versus Tony Ferguson fight that Conor McGregor's belt will be stripped and that fight will be for the undisputed title. But we'll pump the brakes. Conor McGregor's camp has said if they decide to do that for the actual belt and strip Conor, it'll be a crazy night. We know Conor McGregor feels like he runs the UFC at this point. He wants ownership shares. He hasn't fought for the UFC since 2016. He fought Floyd Mayweather in 2017. But as far as an MMA fight, he hasn't fought one of those since 2016. So the UFC is like, yo, we've got to strip you of your title. You know, we've got this division stalled up. We've got two #1 contenders, Tony Ferguson, the interim champion. We got Khabib ready to fight for the belt. Eddie Alvarez lined up right before that. And Conor McGregor's just spending his money, kicking it with, you know, D. Devlin or Rita Ora, or, I mean, on a yacht, or Conor McGregor spending his money doing his fashion thing. You know, he's got all this stuff going on. Meanwhile, we got some real killers in the UFC ready to get things rolling. Even if they're not going to get the Conor McGregor fight, they want that title. And so the UFC's kind of got their hand forced. They got to strip Conor. Conor McGregor's already broke the record for the longest champion going without being stripped. So, you know, the UFC's kind of got to strip Conor. But Conor's camp is saying if they do, it's going to be a wild night. We've seen Conor McGregor scale the cage before, and this was at Bellator. So if he's at the UFC and he was comfortable enough to scale the cage at Bellator, he's probably ready to get in that octagon and start scrap. I don't know, man. Conor McGregor's gonna go crazy if he's actually not okay. You heard what he said. I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder. I'm gonna wrap one on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to get these belts off me. So if he's under that mindset, Conor McGregor says, "Hey, that's my belt. I'm not getting stripped." He might charge the cage like Mike Perry, you know, when he was ringside in the Darren Till fight, shaking. No, that's my belt. I don't know. He might scale the cage. He might fuck up an official. He might put his hands on Tony Ferguson or Khabib, and you know they ain't going to take that. So it's going to be WWE Royal Rumble. They're going to have to break it all apart. Who knows? All I'm saying is Conor McGregor's team has confirmed they will be ringside, and Conor McGregor is looking like isn't too happy with the idea of his belt being stripped. If it does happen, that'll be a crazy night. Who knows what that means? My assumption, Conor McGregor's going to do some crazy shenanigans ringside. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.